I had no teaching background. I had no real education to speak of. I wasn't credentialed. I grew up just a terrible student, and I felt like a complete and total loser. And so here I became a stay-at-home dad. And it was like, okay, I just don't want to ruin them. I don't want to ruin them. None of the fear that I felt trying to figure those things out ever scared me as much as what I'm about to tell you in this video, which also happens to be the thing that when I figured it out made the biggest impact on my life and on the life of my children. My name is Daniel Moss, and I've been homeschooling my kids for over 2 decades now. So after years of struggling, I finally somehow found these mentors who had homeschooled way back in the 80s. They looked at me and were like, oh, they probably thought this kid's a mess. Like, holy crap. And they took me under their wings and they calmed me down, took a lot of that anxiety out, and they chilled me out. But there was also this book that they handed me. I honestly was like, I don't want to read a stupid book. I hate reading. It was like the last thing I wanted to be doing. I don't know how they did it. They worked their magic on me and they were able to convince me to do it. And it didn't take that long, and I found something inside that book that scared the freaking hell out of me. Because up until that point, I was just requiring from my kids. And I felt like I just had to be like the drill sergeant and force the good life on my kids, right? But this book said something in it that changed how I see education. It started to make sense for me what was wrong with the school system. And I realized what was wrong with how I'd been doing things at home. And he even bled out into how I was parenting and how I kind of just lived my life. And it's a simple little thing that they say, you got to inspire, not require. And what scared the crap out of me about that was that probably you could already piece it together. Everything I told you I thought about myself, now I'm reading a book that these mentors who are showing me some stuff are saying I should take serious. This book is saying, yo, dude, you have to inspire your kids. Let me tell you a quick story. I'm going to probably cry about this one. Every time I think about this story, it always chokes me up. But I remember when my daughter was 4 years old-ish, and we were like roughhousing, rolling around the floor, watching a movie, and just playing, having fun. Daddy-daughter. It was fun. And I remember at one point she stopped. She said, Daddy. Yeah, baby. Daddy, I wish you were on TV. Why, baby? She said, because Daddy, that way the whole world can see how awesome you are. And it's like a shame to say it, but I don't remember what I said to her, but I know what I thought. And what I thought was, wow, little girl, I have tricked you. I have lied to you somehow, and I don't like that. I don't like that I've lied to you. I want you to know the truth. Your dad's a loser. So that guy right there had to somehow become inspirational. And I didn't know how that was humanly possible for me to do that. And the reason why you need to inspire, not require, I'm going to be doing videos that go more in depth on this kind of stuff, but the very gist of it is that, and we see this a lot in government schools, right? Where I have a book up here called The Case Against Education by Brian Callahan, or Kaplan. And he's a university professor. He loves education, but he makes a case against education. What is he saying? And there is, hey, we teach all this stuff, we ram all this stuff into people's heads and they forget it all anyway, so maybe education's bogus. And here I was just trying to ram this stuff into my kid just to check off boxes for somebody else. And what was my kid ever going to really come away with? They're going to be turned into little robots who just take commands and they don't know how to think for themselves. Thank God I was handed that book all those years ago, because it got me to change how I saw the whole paradigm of education and parenting and my role as a father. And what I needed to do to start to chart a new course, what that was really about was just modeling what it looks like to be a human being, to solve problems, to have a love for learning, to take challenges head on, to fail, to get back up, to grow, to develop myself. I had to show all that stuff to my kids, and they came along for the ride. And so now they're leaders and they take on things and they don't have to ask for permission. They don't have these same challenges that I struggle with to this freaking day because of my upbringing and because of government schools making me think and feel certain things about me and my life. They don't have that. They have belief in their ability to do stuff because that's what they've been practicing. So if they want to learn something, they're going to learn it. If they want to accomplish something, they're going to accomplish it. Whatever they got to do, they'll do it because they believe. They know they can. They got to go and try and do stuff, and they were safe to do it. They were given an environment to do it. It was modeled for them. And again, it takes on a different flavor and a different look, but they're amazing people. And I'm thankful for that. And it's because of that book. And the book is called Leadership Education. I couldn't recommend it high enough. And it's a journey. The whole thing's a journey. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. And that's part of what I'm trying to tell you is, yeah, you're not qualified. Whatever the hell that means. You're not qualified. Ain't no teacher out there qualified to deliver what I was able to deliver to my kids. They can't do it. It's 30 against 1v1, or I have 4 kids, 1v4 even. But I get to know my kids on a level that no teacher gets to know. I get to model things in a way they can't model. I get to change my environment to suit my kids' needs. I get to develop a rhythm of life for my kids. I get to figure out what my kids are, what they fall in love with, what their natural abilities are, their weaknesses are, and all that. I get to cultivate and change and direct things, and I get to have conversations with them and coach them. It's different. They're not qualified for what I did. So this video is meant to just be a broad thing, just to say, this is my story. This is what I did. This is what kind of got me going. My channel is going to go in deep detail on all of this kind of stuff. What did I do? What did that look like? What other books did I read? What were my influences? How did all this stuff play out? What were the hardships along the way? What mistakes did I make? All of it. I'm going into all of that stuff. And so I would really love it if you'd subscribe and follow along and stick around and ask questions and all that. There's also a school group. You'll see a link down below. As a father, I didn't have a community, and I'm trying to build the thing that I didn't have. And I want it to be a place where fathers can come in, whether you're the homeschooling dad who stays home and does the actual homeschooling, or you're the father who works and you parent at night and on the weekends, right? And you do that kind of the more normal type setup. It's a group for you too. And it's just a place for us to learn what are all the things that we can be doing. How can we inspire our kids? How can we connect with our kids better? How can we be attuned to them? And I'm going to do all kinds of cool stuff in there. We're going to do challenges. We're going to do workshops. We're going to do webinars. We're going to do live chats. I'll be having all kinds of really cool people on there doing trainings and stuff like that on, if not a weekly basis, at least on a monthly basis. I'll be doing all that kind of stuff in there. And so come on in, check it out. And it's free. I don't care what your religion is. I don't care your politics, none of that. You're a dad, you got kids, you're homeschooling, join us. We'd love to see you in there. And that's that. Links in the description. You have a wonderful day. Subscribe. Take care.